All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, Monday, May the 9th, 2022. Appreciate you all tuning in. I'm Chris Phillips, your host of the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show as always. Again, hope you guys are having a fantastic start to your week. We are here live, taking your questions, your comments, your calls as well. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let's see. I see DGD, Travie, Cody Gaskins, Travis Allen. What's going on? Appreciate you all tuning in. Also, guys, in the Big Cock Club Discord. Head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel. Be sure your questions are answered there. We were on a call right before this, and so kind of running around. Crazy. If I sound out of breath, I was literally running up and down the stairs, man, trying to get ready for the show. By the way, shout out my guy, Travis Ward. Let me show off the lid real quick. You see the lid? Look at this guy. Cocky Lids. My guy, Cocky Lids. Travie. What a legend. All the Travises are legends. All the Travises are legends, man. I appreciate y'all. Again, hope you had a fantastic weekend. Hope you had a great Mother's Day. Hope you had a great Mother's Day. So, let's see. Brennan M, what's going on? Travis Lee says, can we sell Kingston for a Bojangles 3-piece wing meal? DGD says, football cannot get here soon enough. I hear you. Again, guys, it's a bit of a therapy Monday. Is it still, let me ask you, is it still therapy Monday at this point? I mean, is it therapy Monday? Really? Are you guys still invested enough to call this therapy Monday? I mean, I don't even know. Either way, Gamecocks dropping 2 of 3 to the Texas A&M Aggies. That Saturday game, one of the most baffling things I think you'll ever see. I don't know. So now the Gamecocks sit 10-14 in SEC play. Brian Dean says one positive I'm taking from this weekend series. We are stroking the ball. Here would be my weekend starters. Becker Friday, Hill, Hall Saturday, and Sanders on Sunday. Let's see. John Kruger just called it this weekend. So did I, John. I had A&M taking 2 out of 3, by the way. Adam Ritter says, I wish I can call Kingston his call-in show and just say he's a joke. Well, then, Ritter, why don't you do it, Ritter? Panic Ritter, do it. Nobody's stopping you. Let's see. Travis says, you didn't watch Game 3 yesterday because you were so dejected. I can't blame you, man. I mean, listen. I don't know if you guys saw my post-game video, post-game reaction on Saturday, but that was a broken, dejected human being. That's exactly what I was. So, brutal. I mean, just an absolutely brutal way to lose. Brian Dean says Fridays are killing us. Yeah, when you're starting Brett Thomas. Either way, guys, again, would love to take your questions, your comments, your calls. Sorry if I'm all over the place right now. Again, been running around this morning. Very excited, though, to start a new week. We are back at Tin Roof this week, in case you missed it, 6 to 8. Also, Wednesday and Thursday is when we will return with the Road to Glory streams. So that will come back on Wednesday and Thursday. Until then, though, like I said, guys, we're rock and rolling, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. And like I said, guys, I mean, what is there really to say? Because at this point in the season, and you already knew weeks ago, but certainly at this point in the season, I mean, we know what we are. I mean, what I don't like doing, we all have passion. We're all upset, and that's great. But I'm not going to come on here and just beat a dead horse all week of what happened over the weekend. Like, we know who we are. We know the bullpen ain't worth a damn. We know we're inconsistent swinging it. I mean, we know who we are. Like, I'm not surprised at what happened over the weekend. Literally, I picked it. A&M winning 2 of 3. I mean, I'm not shocked at all about what happened. But I said this on the podcast, and I'll say it again. Just because you have proper expectations, just because you set those expectations, it doesn't make it any easier to watch it unfold the way it did. And, I mean, again, that Saturday game in College Station, I mean, that really just summarizes the entire season. Right? I mean, that just encapsulates the season. And Mark Kingston did make the point, which I know it's Fire Kingston, guys. We don't have to spend this entire show, this entire next 2 hours saying that. We know it is. We know it is. We all know how we feel on Kingston, right? But he made a point that, we go on the road. We just can't put all three facets of the game together: hitting, pitching, and fielding. And it's just so damn unfortunate that a weekend in which your hitters showed up. I mean, they picked up the slack. They did all they could practically. They did all they could. And your hitters picked up the slack, and you know who couldn't pick you up? Your freaking bullpen. And you are who you are. You're at where you're at. But, I mean, the fact that you've got to throw Matthew Becker and Cade Austin on back-to-back days.
Call from
Skyline Davis.
It's hard to fathom the pitching staff is that poor to
press
y'all.
1 to send a voice.
Skyland, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Just having a Monday. What's going on?
Oh man, I feel like the way to start a road, Miles, is to start somebody good on Friday. Like start a Will Sanders or Noah Hall that can, set the tone, because when you're getting beat 16-4, you don't have no momentum going into the next day.
Skyland, calm down now. That logic makes too much sense. I do agree with you. I mean, it's just, these slapdicks I see on Twitter, man, that just, they try to argue about strategy, and I don't even think they believe what they're saying. But I said it over the weekend, and I'm not the guy that I don't like to go, well, I played baseball and you didn't, so you don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to be that guy. But I finally just hit my breaking point where it's like, dude, if you really think starting Brett Thomas in game 1 and not starting Sanders or Hall in game 1, if you really, truly, honestly believe that is your best option, best way to approach a weekend, listen, you're entitled to your opinion. I respect everybody's opinion, but you're wrong. And you don't know baseball, and you just don't know what you're talking about.
Fair. It's not fair for Brett Thomas to have to go against somebody else's best pitcher, and he's not our best pitcher.
Right. And I'm not even saying Brett Thomas has thrown horribly. I'm not even saying he's thrown horribly, right? But,
right.
I mean, dude, like you're saying, especially when you're on the road, you're losing that game 1, and you're playing a good team like Texas A&M. Dude, it's going to be hard to win 2 in a row in their ballpark. It just is. It's going – because, dude, I'll tell you this. Even if you beat A&M on Saturday, that doesn't guarantee you to win Sunday. You think A&M comes out with the same fire and intensity on Sunday they came out with if the series is tied? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I just don't agree with it. I'll never agree with it. Like, I understand the thought process to a degree of the strategy, but I don't agree with it. You throw your best available when available. You throw your best available when available. I mean.
Well, Keystone moved Sanders to Sunday. That just told me he's hoping to win one game a weekend, saying, I hope look, Sunday's our best shot. Our best pitcher versus their worst pitcher.
And I don't even care if you want to put Hall on Friday, because you know what? He's been our best pitcher in SEC play. I got no issue with that. But I'd put either Hall or Sanders. I don't know, man. And part of me, too, is like, you know what? You work tirelessly. You work your tail off. Like, it's an honor to be the Friday night guy at Carolina. That's how it should be viewed.
It means more. Being a Friday night guy means more than being a Saturday or Sunday guy.
Right. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess at this point in the season, what does it even matter? You're 10-14 in SEC play, and is there a path? Is there technically a path? I guess so. But come on, man. Like I think even if this team, Skyland, finishes 15-15, your resume is just so bad with the midweek losses. I don't think it's a guarantee you get in. I really don't.
That's why I told somebody on Twitter. Like, someone said, you remember the old setting, 15-15 in conference play gets you in. And I was like, I don't even care if you go 16-14. I don't still think you get in because of the bad losses you got.
And I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
It is. I'm almost shocked this team even has a chance to go 15-15. To only be one game worse than that team was last year, who went 16-14. Because I tell you what, last year was frustrating. That team last year would have spanked this year's team, in my opinion. Wouldn't even been close. Would not have even been close. So realistically, though, I'll tell you this, Skyline, because the conversation is shifting to, for those who are holding out hope on the postseason. And this, I'm sure, will irritate some people and piss some people off, but it is what it is. Like, we're not a postseason team. This team doesn't deserve to get in the postseason. This team doesn't deserve to back their way in. This isn't a postseason. It's not.
Bears.
Say that again?
If you make it, you're gonna be 1-2 and done, in my opinion, unless offense can carry you.
Yeah, I just this is a team again that, in my opinion, the only times this season where you really have looked like a postseason team. I mean, sure, you swept Bama, but the series against Texas and the series against Vandy, and those two teams aren't nearly as good as we thought they were. So, Again, this team isn't a postseason team. It doesn't deserve to be one. You're last in every statistic. You don't deserve to be in a post. I mean, even if you go 15-15, I could argue you don't deserve it. I really could. So it's unfortunate. I think we will be sitting at home. Again, the selection show is Monday, May the 30th, after the SEC tournament. 2 SEC weekends left, 2 midweeks left. And so could this team go 5-1 of the last 6? Is it possible? Well, anything's possible. We could go 6-0. It's possible, but you got Kentucky, who just took 2 or 3 from Tennessee, and then you got Florida at their place, and you can't win on the road. I think more likely this team goes at best 3-3. 3-3 at best. Truly.
If you find a 5-1, 6-0, I still think you have to win 2 and then 2 or 3 and Hoover.
Yeah, you got to have success in a place that you have never had success, really, at least since like 2004. So,
well, that's not. We're still fighting for a spot in Hoover.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're in. But you go lose 2 or 3 to Kentucky.
You're 12th seed. You're the last season right now.
Yeah.
Missouri and Mississippi State are the only 2 teams out.
Yeah, which is what a miserable season.
To be honest with you, we're the 12th. Kentucky's the 11th seed by 1 game.
Well, hold on now. Kentucky's 9-15 in conference play, so we are ahead of Kentucky.
Oh yeah.
So we're actually, I think we'd actually be the 10 seed, maybe actually the 9 seed right now, because the other teams are Bama's 10-14, Ole Miss is 10-14, and Kentucky's 9-15. So we've beaten Bama and Ole Miss, so we'd be ahead of them, I think.
Oh, I thought it went by overall records.
Oh, well, maybe I don't know. Maybe it does. I mean, I figured it'd go by like head to head, which if that was the case, I mean, I don't know exactly. Again, the bottom line is right now you're in. But, yeah, you lose 2 or 3 to Kentucky, I mean, you're going to be flirting with, you're going to be flirting with missing it. And South Carolina has I don't know if people know this, South Carolina has the longest active streak in the SEC of making the SEC tournament. So.
I didn't know that myself. All right, you're 10-14. If you lose this weekend, lose to Florida, you're basically saying you're 14 and you're going to have 14 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
So you're major. I mean, Missouri's out of the conversation. They already know they're not making the tournament.
Right.
Mississippi State, Bama, Ole Miss, and South Carolina, and Kentucky are fighting for that last spot, basically. Being 10, having 10 wins and 9 wins, it's not a big deal. You can turn around and get swept, or you lose 2 out of 3. You're back in that, not making the tournament.
Right.
So that's all. I feel like this weekend is huge. Basically, you're fighting for one of the last spots in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean that's where you are. So,
because I do think it goes to overall records, in my opinion. I don't think it's like if we beat who beat who. I don't think it would go that way. Because then you have a bunch of tiebreakers.
Right.
I think it goes by overall records. and I could be wrong.
Hey, I could be wrong too. I don't know. So we'll see. Hey, either way, you want to make the SEC tournament? Win. Need to win.
Yeah, I mean, we should
Need to win.
be talking like this.
Yeah.
We should already be in that. You
Yeah.
know?
And I will be at all 3 games this weekend. So, final home series. We'll see. We'll see. So, gonna be another tough SEC weekend.
Well, can we get these last 2 weeks over and let's start focusing on football?
Yeah, I feel like here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna get these last 3 weeks because that's the tournament. We're gonna get these last 3 weeks over, and I'm gonna take about a month vacation. I mean, I don't know. No, we'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But
to yet?
Do what?
Have you decided where you wanted to move to yet?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna really start looking over the next couple of weeks, but no, I haven't made a decision.
Move to I'm not telling you a location, but move to where you think that gives you your best chance to be successful.
I appreciate that, Skyline. Yeah, it's that is certainly the plan. So
I would think that staying in Columbia, you covering Gamecock sports and being like you said, no one cares that Chris Hill is about the game. Nobody cares.
Appreciate it, Skyline.
But you said it yourself.
I just will say I don't think people are going to think any less of me in my coverage if we're not there. That's all I'm saying.
Basically the same thing.
I do love going to games and interacting with Gamecocks and meeting people. I mean, that's a really rewarding part of it. But especially on the baseball and basketball side, I mean, you don't have to be at the game to. I mean, I'll be at every football game no matter what because we throw a tailgate. So I will be at all the football games. But yeah, baseball. I mean, baseball. I just go because I love it. I don't have to be there. But either way, again, that we got a little ways to go before that, and that's something I'll figure out on my end. But yeah, exciting, man. There's a lot of opportunity that lies ahead. So,
all righty, guys. Well, I'm gonna get off the call.
So, all right, Skylar. Hey, I appreciate the call, my man. Thank you. Good stuff. 843-790-3377. Like I said, guys, we can talk about the postseason projections till we're blue in the face, and I'm more than happy to discuss it. But yeah, I think at this point, man, you got to go 5-1 over your next 2 weekends, and anything less than a series victory this weekend, and you're done. You're truly done. I think you're probably already done already as it is, but anything less than a series victory this weekend, you're done. You're cooked. I mean, you're finished. You got Kentucky at home. You got to protect your home field, bottom line. Tyler Noel says Carolina won't be relevant in baseball again until Kingston's fired. His coaching decisions are head-scratching, to say the least. Bring on football. I haven't been this excited for football in a long time. Yeah, I hear you. I think a lot of fans are ready to start talking football, honestly. And, I'm excited to start talking football too, but it's a shame. It's a shame that I feel like so often we get like 3/4 of the way through a Carolina season, no matter what the sport is, and we're like, all right, I'm ready for the next thing. And that sucks. That sucks. I like last year, I really genuinely enjoyed Gamecocks baseball from start to finish. I really did. And it's just a shame and it's unfortunate when you lose that because of the success or lack thereof on the field. Ben Smith says, I just want this misery to end. Let's see. Stan Webster, is there no rule where if you drop below a certain amount at any position, you can call the season, or no, because baseball, you can play more than one sport or more than one spot? Savannah, no, they're not gonna call the season. No. Tim Belk says the fact and truth is that Kingston's doing the best of what he has. We have 4 pitchers for a series. I'm assuming this is in relation to Brant Belk, which have loved watching Brant play. Listen, I hear you. I know there's been injuries on the pitching staff, and I don't disagree, Tim, that when I look at this staff, there's 4 guys I trust to give the baseball to. There's 4 guys. Will Sanders, Noah Hall, Matthew Becker, and Kate Austin. And the fact that 2 of them are freshmen says a lot. I mean, I think it says a lot that why can't I trust to give the ball to Cam Tringali, Parker Coyne, and John Gilreath, guys that have been here for 20 years, it feels like. I mean, what does that say? Even with that being said, though, Tim, we're still the worst hitting team in the league. That concerns me more than anything. And I'm not just talking this season. I'm talking about for the future account of baseball. That's what concerns me. And I said this coming in this year that, you know what, if we don't figure it out swinging it, I'm really concerned about under Kingston, will we ever field a team that can swing it consistently? And with this group of hitters, to be at the bottom of the conference in hitting, and I know we just had a great weekend swinging it, but look at the entire season. You know, I doubt that we can ever really swing it effectively on a consistent basis. You know, I have my doubts. I have my doubts. So, you know, I have my doubts, and I again, Tim Belk and any others that still stand with Kingston, that's fine. That's fine. But when you pair up the results and also what the greatest in school history are saying about the guy, they don't think he's the guy, that's enough for me. That's enough. I've seen enough. I've heard enough. It's enough. It's enough for me. I'm not saying that if Kingston sticks around, he couldn't possibly field a solid team. That's not what I'm saying. But is he the guy to get Carolina back to Omaha? I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, so again, you still got the worst hitting team in the league, and you could argue you put yourself in this position where with the pitching problems. I know guys have gotten hurt. You didn't plan on Bosnick not being available. You didn't plan on Hicks getting hurt. You know, would our season, no offense, would our season be that much better if Wesley Sweat was available? If I don't even know his name, Sam, whatever, if he was available, if Eli Jones could pitch on the weekends, would our season be that much better? We still can't hit. We still can't hit. Sven Webster, who do I want as a replacement? I would look at Cliff Godwin from ECU, Scott Jackson from Liberty, Link Jarrett from Notre Dame, Mark Calvey from South Alabama. That's my short list. That is my short list of guys. So, let's see. We did have a comment also that Shane Beamer, yes. Shane Beamer picked up a commitment. Zabari Sandy, 3-star defensive back. So, the first public commitment of 2023. So, hopefully this gets the ball rolling in regards to guys coming public. Panic Ritter, Tanner doesn't have the balls to fire Kingston. Ritter, I would love for you to call in one day, Ritter. I like, truly, I would love it. I would love it. Savannah Webster says pitching cost us this weekend. We hit enough to win. Indeed, Savannah, that's the shame. That's the shame of it all. Even in a weekend where we found a way to swing it well enough, we lost. It's brutal. It's just tough. It's tough. So. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. We are rocking and rolling all week long. All week long in the Daily Crow, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Also, podcast dropped this morning, episode 646. Full breakdown of the weekend and also thoughts on the latest commitment. Podcast will drop Wednesday and Friday, guys. We got some big interviews as well. Really excited about one tonight that I'll be doing that'll drop on the Wednesday show. One on Wednesday that's a massive interview that'll drop next week. So really excited for the interviews. That's what I'm thinking, by the way, for the month of June. I'm going to try to get ahead if possible. I'm thinking either throwbacks or new interviews. I'm thinking about just dropping interviews for the podcast because I want to drop podcasts in June, but they're not going to be new podcasts necessarily because, again, guys, I am planning on us taking at least 2 to 3 weeks off. There will be no baseball. I mean, recruiting will pretty much be dead, nothing going on. And I think it'll be a good opportunity for us in that month of June to sort of recharge the batteries and get ready and gear up for July and diving into football content heavy because I will be diving into football content very, very, very heavy in the month of July. Again, the plan right now, July 4th is what? I think it's on a Monday. Is that right? July 4th is, Monday. So the plan that week will be Wednesday, then Friday, dropping the way too early or not way too early, just dropping the season predictions, the game-by-game season predictions for the 2022 football season. And from there, we're off and running. Opponent previews, position unit previews, full-on previews of Gamecocks football, and then we'll dive into kickoff. So, yeah. Brian Dean says, I wouldn't fire Kingston unless you had an accomplished winning coach waiting in the wings. Well, Brian, this is an elite job. Go get a guy. Jeff Tarpley says, is there any argument that supports keeping Kingston one more year under the injury thing? But that sounds much-champy. Jeff, the only thing that here's the thing. If I had to predict right now, I feel almost the same way I felt about Frank Martin. Obviously, Frank Martin wasn't retained. But I would not be shocked if he comes back due to a couple of reasons. Number one, I think the injury excuse, bottom line. I think also due to the dysfunction with the Board of Trustees. That's the big question. That's the big question when it comes to Mark Kingston's future, right? The dysfunction within the Board of Trustees, their angst over paying buyouts. Will they be willing to pay another buyout? That's what it comes down to. And I know it's frustrating, guys, because fans are constantly calling. I feel like the last 2 years, all we've done on social media is call for coaches' jobs. Heck, now you got people calling, for Bev Smith's job with softball. And I see fans make light of it and joke about, Gamecock fans just love calling for jobs. Some people, maybe they're a little bit over the top, but I can't even blame Gamecock fans, guys, because unfortunately, the reality of your athletics department outside of a Dawn Staley is this. Over the last 2 years or so, 2.5 years, we'll say, we have just run into a bad run and bad crop of coaches, administrators, heck, even a president, where we needed to gut this thing and clean house. Was it wrong to fire Muschamp? Absolutely not. Was it wrong to fire Martin? Absolutely not. Will it be wrong to fire Kingston? Absolutely not. Would it be wrong to fire Bev Smith, who the results aren't there? No. You can't even blame Gamecock fans. And I know it's frustrating because if you fire Kingston in the big three sports, baseball, basketball, and football on the men's side, the big three sports, you'll have fired every single head coach within less than a 2-year span. That's frustrating. That's embarrassing. It's a bad look. But it's what's necessary, and it's what's needed to be done. Unfortunately, I don't know why it played out the way it has, but you've just had a bad crop of coaches. You just have. You've had a horrid crop of coaches. And you're just making too much money at this level, and we take too much pride in Gamecocks athletics to sit around and say, well, it'd be a bad look, so we shouldn't make this move. To hell with it. It needs to be done. It needs to be done. It's hard to fathom and comprehend, but it's in every great organization or in every organization. Normally when there's problems within the organization, it starts at the top. And guys, look at the dysfunction with the Board of Trustees. Look at the dysfunction with the presidency at the University of South Carolina. Look at the dysfunction. People want to harp on Ray Tanner. They want to blame Ray Tanner. I get it. He's the AD. He's got to wear it. But I can assure you there are more problems than Ray Tanner. Ray Tanner is the puppet. He's the talking head for the BOT. He's the talking head for all those higher ups, the real decision makers at the University of South Carolina. So while he's got to fall on the axe, guys, it's a lot more than just him. He's not the only guy making bad decisions when it comes to coaches. He's not the only one butchering these head coaching searches. He's not the only one. There's a reason why the Board of Trustees is getting shuffled the way it is. There's a reason why that's happening. It's not just Tanner. Does he share a lot of the blame? Absolutely. I'm not trying to say he doesn't share any blame, but it isn't just him. And I don't know why it is. Maybe there's some older Gamecock fans that can educate me a little bit. Has the University of South Carolina just always had inept leadership? Because I'll take football, for example. I mean, the fact that you can have a football program that has existed for over 100 years and you didn't win a bowl game until 1995. Guys, it took you 100 years to win a bowl game. And the fact that you only have one conference championship and you've never really had sustained success in football. How is that possible? How are you just bad forever? How do you have bad coaches forever? Is it bad leadership? Let's jump to the phone lines.
Call
Pageant.
to
Hayden, what's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Just hanging out. What's going on?
I was going to get your take on baseball coaching. I know they haven't fired Mark Kingston yet or anything like that, but being a local guy from around South Carolina, I'm sure you remember the name Landon Powell was a catcher for Carolina for years and played up under Ray Tanner. And he is a guy that coached at North Greenville for 6 or 7 years, I believe. And they just won their 4th conference title in a row. Has really done a great job up there. But one thing I think with all our sports, it always comes back to is Mark Kingston never has recruited the state as well as I think he should have. And I feel like that's something you could do with Landon Powell as your coach, and I just want to get your take on it. As a local guy, you know, he's from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, no,
Got the Carolina ties.
Yeah, I like Landon a lot. He's had great success at North Greenville. You know, his method has worked really well at North Greenville, and I'm sure this isn't the case for every single guy, but they are well known for just taking D1 guys that didn't work out and, you know, plugging away at D2. And I mean, of course they should beat everybody, bro. They pull in all these D1 guys, like no kidding. But he's done a great job. He's done a great job building the program. They've won a lot. I don't think it's a guarantee because he's won there that he can win here. And I like Landon a lot, and he's a Gamecock. And, you know, we could do worse. I'm not saying we couldn't do worse. I question, though, and this is actually coming, too. I'll just tell you this. I won't say the name, but this is coming from a former player at the University of South Carolina because I asked him the same question on Landon Powell. And his response was he would not go Landon Powell. And the reason he wouldn't go Landon Powell is because if he said if Landon Powell is not willing to leave North Greenville and go to the D1 level and prove that he can be a competent D1 coach and an SEC coach, like why should his first gig be Carolina? And I get that. Because again, just because you can take the D, you know, all due respect, you can take some D1 dropouts and plug them away at D2 and win. That doesn't mean you can win at USC. That doesn't mean you can win in the SEC. It just doesn't work that way. I do agree with you. Recruiting the state has got, I mean, it's the fact that we haven't recruited the state effectively, that should be enough to let him go. Because when Ray Tanner was head coach, we recruited everybody. Everybody wanted to play at USC. Everybody in the state wanted to be a Gamecock. That was it. Everybody wanted to be a Gamecock. There was a lot of pride for playing for South Carolina baseball. And I mean, I've just heard things about Kingston that he's disliked by head coaches in the state. You know, and so, yeah, that can't fly, man. I'm not saying I would hate if Powell got the opportunity. I just question, and I think there's guys that while they may not be former Gamecock players, there are guys that are more qualified than him. You know, and that's not a knock on Landon. It's not a knock on Landon at all. But their method of winning, the way they've done things at North Greenville, while it's worked, again, you're not going to do that at Carolina. You know what I mean? You're not even with the transfer portal. You're not going to do that. Like again, you know we've seen all the South Carolina guys that have gone there, the Logan Chapmans and the Jax Cashes and others, and they're having great success. It's like they should. They're SEC ball players playing in Division II. They should have a lot of success. You know, so I don't think it's just like, oh, you hire Landon Powell and all of a sudden we're going to be back in the College World Series. And my guy Braden Webb, former Gamecocks pitcher, literally just commented, said it's D2 compared to SEC. Yeah, and it's no knock. I'm not saying that, again, they've done a great job. I just do question, though, I would have, if Landon Powell would have won a bunch at North Greenville, which he has, and then he took a job in the SEC as an assistant somewhere or something like that, or not even in the SEC, just at the D1 level in a Power 5 school,
Right.
I'd feel a lot more confident bringing him here. But again, just because you've had that success at that D2 level, to me, it doesn't just – it's not a kick in. And I just don't know – I don't know that you can take that risk. I mean, what are you going to sell, my guy? I mean, outside of him – and I know it worked with Beamer. I think that's kind of all the blueprint we're all kind of banking on. Well, just bring a guy that was here and loves USC. And, I mean, that's all great. But you brought in Kingston, who had a shoddy record at South Florida. What are you going to do? Bring in Landon Powell, who doesn't even have a record at D1? I mean, he's an accomplished D2 coach. So what? Who cares? Doesn't matter. I'd feel more confident bringing a Link Jarrett, bringing a Cliff Godwin, even bringing a Scott Jackson, that they've done it at this level. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, with that being said, I don't think Landon Powell would go from being head coach at North Greenville to being on staff at Carolina, but I'd love to see it. I'd honestly love to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, Stuart Lake did it, though. Stuart Lake did it. Stuart Lake went from the head coach at Charleston Southern to, Charleston Southern's a D1. He went from head coach at Charleston Southern to assistant at Carolina. So, but anyways, I just, the name Landon Powell is so easy to throw out there, but I don't know that it's the right answer, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, he's just like, being from where I'm up in Bowling Springs, a lot of guys go up there. And we got John Michael Fell up there right now who's just absolutely killing it. And, somebody like South Carolina never really showed him any kind of attention at all. And, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be the best catcher in the world, but he was the best catcher I've ever played with or seen. And he's a little short for probably a D1 catcher. I think he's 6'6", but the true, just raw talent the kid possesses, it just amazes me that, schools like Carolina or Clemson didn't show him any love, and then he goes to somewhere like NGU, and they built a pretty good culture there. And I do like what you're saying about the bringing in the dropout D1s or the guys who didn't pan out at other schools. I never really thought about it that way, but that is a good way to look at it.
And I don't mean that, by the way, as a slight. I don't mean that as a slight. I'm just saying, they've done a good job of giving D1 guys. It's like, hey, would you rather, go fight for a spot at Carolina and maybe not even play, or come here and be a star? I mean, I mean,
take a little pressure off.
Right. I mean, let's call it for what it is, man. It's a lot less pressure pitching at North Greenville than it is pitching at Carolina. There's no question.
No.
And I mean, again, everybody's situation is different. Everybody's situation is different, and I think it's awesome that guys are able to go that route and flourish. And I mean, that's all you want, man. You want to play and you want to have an opportunity to showcase your skills and get to the next level. And that's the beautiful thing about baseball, man. You don't have to be at Carolina or even in the SEC to do that. You can be at JUCO, you can be at NAIA, you can be at D2, D3, whatever. And if you ball, somebody's going to see you. So, but it's not necessarily that way at South Carolina. You got to, do it a little bit differently. So,
yeah. Sounds good. I just wanted to get your take on it. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to talk to me.
No, dude, I appreciate your call, man. I appreciate your call. Thanks so much for the insight, my guy. Take care. Now, great stuff. And he makes a lot of great points, and it does come down to recruiting just like every other sport. Braden Webb says, I think give the reins to Scott Wingo. Is Scott – I would say this, is Scott ready for that? But I would agree the recruiting has just got to change and be fixed. I mean, we've got Braden Webb in the chat right now. My guy Braden, appreciate you, dude. You think about his brother. His brother's a shortstop, right? And when you have the type of connection, Braden Webb played at USC. Brother is an elite player, right? You don't even offer him. Guess where he's committed? He's going to Arkansas. You may still not have gotten him, but God, you got to offer him. I mean, you have the connect. That the pipeline is there. And you don't even offer him? You don't even go after him? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know, it's just so. I mean, I love going out of state and getting guys. It's great, right? The fact that we're a national brand. But man, like, dude, you got to recruit in state. There's too many good baseball players in this state to not get them all. The fact that Clemson's pulling these guys, like, it was never like that before. It was never like that, you know? And Braden comments, he said he told me he would have chose South Carolina over Arkansas. I mean, again, you're not using all your resources. Is it your pride? Is it your ego? What is it? There's no room for that. Like, you got to win. You got to win. You know, whether Michael Braswell is going to be our shortstop the next 3-4 years, whatever, hey, could have played second base, could have played third. We need good baseball players. I mean, so let's see. Tyler Gay, what's going on, man? He said, damn, I thought we had that game Saturday. So freaking heartbreaking. They find a way to break our hearts every other week. I'm so sick of it. Yeah. Yeah. Braden, what was your brother's name, by the way? John Kruger was asking what his name was. I apologize, my guy. I forgot your brother's name also. Let's see. Gamecocks are listed at 100 to 1 odds to win the SEC via Bet Online. Again, guys, we are taking your questions, your comments, your calls. Braden says Isaac Webb is his name, runs a 6'2", throws 98 across the diamond, hits 400 with 7 nukes on the year. Yeah, sounds like somebody we could have used. Sounds like somebody we could have used. Here we go. Let's jump to the phone lines real quick.
Call from
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Herbstreit.
Robbie, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you on this Monday?
I'm doing well, and I wanted to take a moment, Robbie, to wish Uncle Boudreaux a very happy birthday. I saw on Facebook, I saw your post, so I want to say happy birthday to Uncle Boudreaux. I hope you guys enjoy the day and enjoy your week.
53 years young today.
Uncle Boudreaux, 53rd birthday. Love that.
A full deck of cards, including the rules card.
Love it. Love it. Love that.
I don't know what is going on, but with our baseball team, okay? But something's got to give, doggone it. Okay? I mean, like you said a couple months ago, this will be, if we wind up letting go of Kingston, this will be what, our third coach in less than 2 years?
You will have fired your football coach, men's basketball coach, and baseball coach, all within less than a 2-year span. About a year and a half span. An 18-month span, basically.
That's not good.
That means your athletics department is a shit show. That's what that means. There's no other way to put it. It's a complete shit show.
That's the only way to put it.
When somebody asks, how's it been being a Gamecock lately? Well, all 3 of our head coaches got fired within a year and a half span. That's how it's been going. I mean, if it wasn't for Dawn Staley, there'd be nothing. There'd be nothing to hang your hat. I mean, and you know what? I say that, though. I don't want to disrespect men's tennis. I don't want to disrespect golf. I don't want to disrespect any of those sports. But in regards to the revenue-generating sports, there'd be nothing to hang your hat on if it wasn't for Dawn Staley. I mean, really. So, thank God.
I mean, I for some reason, I can't believe that we're actually hanging our hat on a 7-win season in football. and women's basketball. I honestly didn't think this would ever happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I'll tell you this, Robbie. We're just at the point where you just got to wear it. You know what I mean? We've only got 8 games left, and we're not very good. And listen, it's okay. I've known for a while. Heck, I said it a month ago. We're not very good, and that's fine. It happens. I'm going to watch every single game left. I'm going to cover every single game.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast going to keep rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Live show going to keep rolling. But you just got to wear it. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, you just got. What other choice do you have? You just got to wear it.
Yeah.
That's it. We're not good.
I
And
look at
when
it
you're
this way.
not good, the season is very long. It's very long. But you know what? You got to play them. You got to play them. You don't have a choice. So we'll play these last
And
8,
like I
and
said
we'll go to the
before-
tournament and whatever. The SEC tournament.
Right. And like I've said before, sports is kind of like life, all right? You're going to have your ups and you're going to have your downs, right?
That's a
And I
fact.
told my mom yesterday, because we went to Buffalo Wild Wings in Somerville for Mother's Day. I told my mom, I said, look, people, no matter who they are, no matter what they're doing, you're going to go through stretches in life where everything is falling apart, right? Everything is a crap show.
Mhm.
Everything's going down the poop chute. Who knows? It might last 3 months. It might last 6 months. It might last a few years. Okay, but you're going to have times where you're going to be dealing with a lot of crap, and you're irritated, and you want to just scream into a pillow at the top of your lungs. You know what I mean?
Right.
But also going through that prepares you for whenever the good stuff happens. Because whenever the good stuff happens, you cherish it a lot more.
You can't have the sunshine without a little rain, my guy.
That is a fact. That is a fact. And for instance, like I told you about, with me having a disability, right? I had times where I wanted to just get away for a while because I was just irritated about all the crap that I had to deal with. But I eventually wised up and I was like, you know what? There's a reason for everything that happens, good or bad.
Mhm.
Would I change some of the stuff that I went through back then? Yes. But now I look at it in a whole different perspective. And that's the same way with sports. You're gonna go through slumps. You're gonna go through a bunch of junk. You gotta dig through the mud to find the gold. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You gotta dig through the dirt and the mud and the nastiness to get to the gold. And right now, our main revenue sports are not doing that right now. But I do believe eventually it will happen, and there will be light at the end of the tunnel. It might not be this year, it might not be next year, it might not be the year after that, but I do believe that there is light at the end of this tunnel, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take action. You want change. You got to change something. So we got to take action. And I think that action is getting a new coach. I do. I just
And before I get off of here,
Mhm.
my stepdad surprised me and gave me just out of nowhere gift. He gave me the newspaper printout from October 10th of 2010.
and that game was
From when I
Alabama.
was- Yes.
Love it. Now, Robbie,
just
didn't you
decided to give it to
you're
me.
going to one of these next two midweek baseball games, either tomorrow or next week?
That would be not tomorrow, but
A week.
probably next.
Yeah, the Charlotte game.
Yeah. I don't know yet. I've been telling my mom. I've been telling my mom for like a month. I'm like, this is it. I was like, I always tell her, like, this is the only thing I want. Like, this is it. Like this and going to dinner. That is it. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It would. But I'm gonna enjoy that day regardless.
Right.
Okay. Because this is officially my next to last Monday as a 30-year-old. I'll be 31 a week from tomorrow.
Very good.
So, and I will finish with this. To heck with Clemson, you bunch of farming losers, bunch of cow milkers, chicken farmers, you bunch of losers, you bums, you purple and orange wearing pansies. All right, man. You have a great rest of your day, okay?
Robbie, well put. Appreciate you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
All right, take care. Love that. Love how Robbie ends those calls. Guys, we're going to jump into a quick break, but I want to continue to hear from you. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Hope you had a great time with your moms. Mother's Day yesterday. I know we had a good time. Was able to go home, hang out with mom, hang out with grandma. Had a good time. Had a really, really good time. Let's see. How about Shane Beamer? College football head coaches generate the most interactions on their personal Twitter accounts in the month of April. Shane Beamer, number one, 76,000 interactions. Number one. How about that? Number two, Ryan Day, that's his name, right? Ryan Day from Ohio State. Number three, Lane Kiffin for Heupel. Yeah. Very good. Love to see that. Very good. Shane Beamer just doing the damn thing. Love to see it. Let's see here. Again, guys, we are taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. Would love to hear from you all. Brendan M says, Grandma's coming down on Wednesday. Love that. Love that for you, Brendan. Cody, what's going on? Appreciate you. He says, today is day one of football practice at my high school. Love being the football manager. So, Cody, is it like summer practice or like spring ball, or what is it exactly? What is it exactly? Breaking, what's the one thing that has caused our baseball program to become average at best? Recruiting, coaching. I think it's a mix of both. You don't feel like you see quite as many studs across the field as you used to, which I don't know. I mean, because even 2017, when we weren't all that good, right? We had a bad year. That team was loaded with talent, right? I mean, you just look at the rotation and where those guys are, that team was loaded. I mean, this team, it's like there's some good players, don't get me wrong, but like, do you feel like there's a bunch of studs and we're underachieving? Travis says, personally, I think we need to sweep Kentucky and Florida for us to remotely have a shot on making the NCAA tournament. Blowing a 9-run lead proves this team isn't a tournament team, sadly. Yeah, Travis, this isn't a postseason team. It's not. I think the beautiful thing about the game of baseball is it exposes you for who you really are at some point. You can't hide forever. The game will show your true colors at some point. And so is there a pathway for this baseball team to make the postseason? Sure. But I think this group is going to be who it is. And again, the game will expose you for who you really are. You can't fake it in the game of baseball. Who you are is who you are. And I think that's what you'll see happen over the next 2 weekends. This is not a postseason team. At no point this season has it been a postseason team. This team doesn't deserve to get in the postseason. It doesn't deserve to back their way in. I mean, it just doesn't. It just doesn't. When you look at the full resume, it doesn't. And that's harsh and that sucks, but it's true. It's nothing about this team that you look at and say, well, this is a reason we deserve. You don't deserve to get in. The way you've played in conference play, your statistics, your terrible midweek losses, there's nothing about this team that says we are deserving of one of the 64 slots. And that is painful and that hurts. That hurts. That's the reality, though. I mean, that's the reality. Right now, it's the reality. With that being said, do I hope we get in? I mean, again, I just selfishly, guys, want postseason baseball. So, my guy B Webb, do you think any players on this team start on the 16 team? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, I can't think of any off the top of my head, at least, that I think would really. I mean, I think Sanders certainly factors in somewhere. I think he factors in somewhere. Outside of that, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Here's something, guys, that somebody brought up, by the way, that, and maybe this stat's a little bit skewed, but it is a good point. It is a good point. When is the last time Gamecocks baseball had a third baseman? Because Talmadge Lecroy has become our starting third baseman. I mean, he is, right? When is the last time we had a third baseman that had 0 home runs? Think about that. 0 homers. And I'm not trying to knock Lecroy here. But, we're normally known for guys at the corners hitting bombs. Our third baseman has 0 home runs. I mean, you look right now statistically. 272 overall average, 5.48 ERA. In SEC play, you're hitting 249, and you got a 6.55 ERA. I mean, you just are who you are, man. You just are who you are. Bottom line. Jed Dennis says Jonah Bride was decent. Yeah, Jonah Bride was filthy, my guy. Jonah Bride was filthy. Braden, I'm just saying I think Will Sanders would probably factor in like the pitching staff. I'm not saying he'd start, but he would probably pitch. I mean, I think Sanders is a legitimate dude. I'm not saying he would start, though. Tim Belk says Brant Belk is the best to ever do it. Okay, this must be like the Brant Belk fan club. I like Brant a lot. I mean, God, he's leading us in hitting. He's hitting 350. I mean, he's having a great year. 356 in SEC play, and he's hitting 344 overall. We've gotten everything we could have hoped we'd get out of Brant. Got no issues. Brant's probably the MVP of the season at this point. Home versus road, Ed. In SEC games, we are 2-10 on the road, and overall, we are 3-12 in true road games on the season. Ritter says, I wish I can call Kingston this calling show. Ritter, you can. Ritter, you can. Just do it. Just do it, Ritter. Just do it. Nelson Edwards, yes, Landon Powell is in the NCAA tournament. I know that. I'm very well aware. Very well aware. Yep, very well aware. Let's see, SEC dropping their players of the week. Also, the SEC softball tournament begins this week. Gamecocks will take on Texas A&M tomorrow night. I mean, South Carolina's just been bad on the diamond, both baseball and softball. I don't know. Both of them haven't been very good. Ryan Dean, who's the skipper at Coastal? I honestly don't know his name. I don't know his name. Ed McKinnis, how about the Kentucky Derby? Ed, I can honestly say I didn't watch a single second of it. I did not watch a single. Horse racing doesn't really do it for me. Yeah, didn't watch it. So. But what, the horse that won 30 to 1 odds? Pretty good. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyways, guys, we'd love to hear from you. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Oh, 80 to 1 odds. Okay. 80 to 1 odds. Anyways, guys, like I said, Daily Crow all week long podcast, of course, dropped this morning. Go check that out, please. Go check that out. Really, really good stuff. Pod will again drop on Wednesday and Friday. We'll have a big interview on the Wednesday show. We will rock with the Road to Glory series Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Wednesday and Thursday. We will rock with Road to Glory. You know, it's a shame too that we had our rowdy. The Rowdy Roosters have been basically killed because of the lack of success. I mean, because we all know, guys. Now keep it fair, keep it a buck. Baseball is just like basketball, where if you don't have success, people ain't gonna show up or even care, dude. Like, I mean, God bless the folks that are still watching this baseball team. God bless them. You're a real, true Gamecock. If you're still watching this baseball team, you are a real fan. I mean, there's no way around it. If you're at Founders Park this weekend for the Kentucky series, you are a real fan. Tip your freaking cap, dude. Real fan. Travis Allen says, who was the commitment for 2023 over the weekend? Zabari Sandy, a 3-star defensive back out of Washington, D.C. So pick the Gamecocks over some pretty good teams. Actually pick the Gamecocks over some pretty good teams. So I think a pretty solid pickup. By the way, guys, I'll be starting something new, maybe even this week. But I'll be starting something new with the Big Cock Club. We will be releasing a weekly newsletter to all of those who are in the Big Cock Club. And this will be a little bit different than, just Gamecocks, whatever. It's going to be a lot more business stuff, initiatives on the back end, things that we're working on to give those who are in the Big Cock Club some insight and ideas of what's happening within business. So if you're interested in that, I'm really trying to increase the content behind the Big Cock Club paywall. Obviously, we offer the 20% off merch promo code, the private Discord, but I want to offer some other things. So that newsletter, my guy GC with Gamecock Bourbon, he actually really inspired me because I love their newsletter. So I'm going to start my own to give people ideas of, again, what's going on business-wise. If you want to have access to that, patreon.com/BigCockClub. I'm not exactly sure when the first one will drop, but it'll be sometime this week. And you guys will see it on social media as well. Patreon.com/BigCockClub. Also, guys, of course, our friends over at MatchBets. MatchBets.com. If you need an account, if you need somewhere to gamble, MatchBets.com is the way to go. Go to MatchBets.com. When you sign up, use the promo code TSUS. That's promo code TSUS for a 100% deposit match up to $4,000. It's a no-brainer, guys. MatchBets.com. Love their service. Love their site. Everything's very easy. Sign up today and use our promo code TSUS. Let's see. Rakeem Sprinkle says, do you see Stone Blanton or Tanner Bailey really adding to our baseball team? I think Stone Blanton, yes, big-time bopper. Is Tanner Bailey playing both? I didn't think Tanner Bailey was playing both. I know Stone is. I wasn't – if Tanner Bailey's playing both, I did not know that. So I do think Stone Blanton will be a good addition, though. Again, man, you're a guy that was offered by Mississippi State. You were going to go there and play. Like, you're a legitimate dude, man. There's no doubt. You are a legitimate dude for sure. You are a legitimate dude. Again, guys, we're taking your questions, your comments, your calls. 843-790-3377. Heck, I got to write mine and do some Road to Glory stuff today. I don't know. I love that content. I truly love that content. That content is so much fun. Yeah. So I don't know. Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Just I'm gonna keep you guys on your toes. I'm gonna keep you guys on your toes. Why not? Keep you on your toes. You never know. Also, guys, stay tuned for new merch. We've also got Fire Mark Kingston merch. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's on the store. We've got Fire Mark Kingston and Make County Baseball Great Again merch for those who might be interested. So that is available now at tsus.store. That's tsus.store. Let's see. Gary Gilmore. That's the head coach of Coastal. Yes, Gary Gilmore. Yeah, I mean that I tell you, it was crazy, man, seeing that happen over the weekend. The that 9-0. I mean that the fact that you can't hold on to a 9-0 lead is just tough. That's tough to stomach. That's really tough to stomach. And again, like I said, man, you can go into a weekend with proper expectations, and I fully expected on A&M's home field. You know what? They're going to have the edge. They're going to take 2 out of 3. That wasn't a hot take at all. But man, for it just to happen the way it did, and to for it to happen the way it did was just gut wrenching, to say the least. It was gut wrenching. But that's just who you are. That's who you are. It's unfortunate, but that's who you are. So, guys, again, we are taking your questions, your comments, your calls. 843-790-3377. Great day to have a day. I don't know what's up with the weather, by the way, in Cola. It's like unseasonably cool. Like, it's chilly. It's chilly. It's brisk. It's actually very brisk outside. Not sure how I feel about that. Either way, guys, we're having a great Monday here. Great Monday to have a Monday. We're taking your questions, your comments, your calls. 843-790-3377. More of that and much more on the side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, what's up, guys? We're back. So I accidentally clicked the video button twice over the break, so we'll go ahead and just manually cut that off. We are back, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Travis says, I couldn't believe it. I told a buddy I still didn't feel comfortable about the game. And damn it, if we didn't lose. Yeah, I don't know. I really thought sitting there, I thought the Gamecocks had it in the bag. I'll be honest with you. I thought Saturday, I was like, you know what? Even though we let them come back a little bit, we're going to lock this thing in. And sure enough, just did not come to fruition. Just did not come to fruition. So. Kemper, Will just graduated from the university. So proud of my legacy Gamecock grad. Congratulations, and congratulations not just to Kemper, but to all of the graduates of USC. Congratulations to all of you, for sure. Robert Renner says, any update on E.J. Jenkins? E.J. took a visit to Georgia Tech, I believe. No clue, Robert, where he's going to go, but I don't think he's going to be a Gamecock. I don't think he's going to change his mind and come back. You never know. We'll see, but I don't think I think he is transferring for sure. Kemper, I'm not sure if you heard this last week, but I will be moving out of my place in Columbia late July, early August. And just kind of looking around the state, man. I got a buddy of mine trying to convince me to come to the upstate, come to Greenville. So you never know, Kemper. You never know. Breaking 70, 93 grad of USC. That's crazy. It's crazy. All the graduates. It's awesome. My sister graduated from USC May of 2019. So DGD says, I find it hard to believe he is. Georgia Tech needs all the help they can get. Yeah. Yeah, Tech is rough spot. Rough spot for sure. Yeah, DGD says Charleston's too expensive. DGD, where do you stay at, DGD? You in Charleston? Is that right? Charleston is pricey, though. I mean, I haven't lived there, but I can only imagine. And I've had people tell me that as well. So, yeah, Greenville's pretty awesome, Kemper. I will admit it would feel kind of weird taking the show to the upstate. It would feel kind of strange taking the show closer to Clemson territory. But it is an awesome spot. Greenville's cool. And I will say, Kemper, when I came up there to Greenville for the watch parties, feeling the love from the Greenville folks was really cool, really awesome. It was really, really awesome. So, yeah. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to start really diving in, looking for places over the next few weeks. And for me, a lot of it's just going to come down to the place versus, the location. Because I think that, I love what I do. I'm going to be fulfilled and happy no matter where I'm at. I mean, obviously, I want to live in a nice place. Don't get me wrong, but like the actual house that I'm in, that's what I'm more focused on. I really want a dope studio. I want somewhere where I can enhance and upgrade our entire setup. So it's about finding the right spot. As far as what city it's in, we'll see. I do believe I'll be led a certain way and guided towards the correct move. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But Tyler Gates says, in your opinion, who the best interior lineman on both sides, offense and defense, you've been following the Cox? Since I've been following them ever? Like ever? Interior defensively, I would say Kelsey Quarles would be one of them. And probably Javon Kinlaw. I mean, however you feel about Kinlaw, he still was a beast. Offensively, Chris White at center. And probably another like a guard. AJ Can, guard. So, yeah, DGD. Kinlaw was a stud, but he's it's a shame, DGD, because obviously the culture under Will Muschamp was toxic, very toxic. And so, I asked this question, it's so interesting. Like, when we look back at just even a decade from now, right? the Will Muschamp era at the University of South Carolina, like it feels like it's going to be a forgotten era of South Carolina football, or at least an era that folks wish they could forget. And it's unfortunate because there were some legendary Gamecocks during that time. There were some great games and some great memories. But as a whole, and you saw it in 2020 when he was fired, and you saw it crumble, the selfish me mentality, guys really not having pride in the Garnet and Black and having pride in the Gamecocks. Because you know what? You can't have pride in being a Gamecock and say, like what Javon Kinlaw said, that Gamecock fans are the worst fans on his soul. You can't. Even if you think that, man, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. And so, like, I look at that tenure. I look at Muschamp's tenure. Like, how many Gamecock man caves do you think have a signed Jake Bentley photo in the man cave? How many signed J.C. Horn pictures are there hanging up? And this is no knock on these players. It's just reality, though. How many, I think Deebo Samuel celebrated from that era. I think Hayden Hurst is. Outside of that, like, it was a nasty breakup. It was a nasty breakup. So it's just interesting how, and it's unfortunate, but it just feels like that is an era of South Carolina football that I feel like Gamecock fans would rather forget. They'd just rather forget it even happened. Because of the way it ended. So, But yeah, Kinlaw's a guy that, God, I'll never forget, man, being there 2020. After he said what he said, he got booed. His picture got booed at the stadium. And it's like, you don't want fans to do that, but at the same time, like, you call the fan base the worst fans, and what do you expect to happen? Dude, I'll never forget, by the way, I came on the live show. We've been doing the Daily Crow that long. I came on the Daily Crow. He tweeted that at like 11:57, like right before we went live. And I went on a long rant about it. But it is interesting, like, when you really think about it. Like, I think most fans, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I think most fans would just prefer to forget that era even existed. Like I said, people have stuff in their man cave. I have stuff in the studio from different eras of Gamecock football and all that. Like I said, how many signed Israel Mukuamu pieces are there floating around that fans want to hang up in their man cave? How many Will Muschamp footballs are there hanging around in their man cave? Not many would be my guess. Not many, if any at all. Heck, I'll never forget last summer being with Jeff O'Hara, Cox by 90. We did our live show down at Rita's in Charleston, and he had a helmet. He had a helmet that was signed by Will Muschamp, and this man literally wiped the signature off the helmet. That right there just goes to show you. It's just, Tyler Gay says, I burnt everything he signed of mine. Good Lord. Oh, my goodness. It's just, what an era of Gamecocks football. What an era. It's like I said, it's a shame because it wasn't all bad. I'll never forget South Carolina beating Michigan in the Outback Bowl. Wasn't all bad. But, man, the bad outweighed the good so heavily. So heavily. So heavily. Ken Perkina says, we gave away a signed Will Muschamp football to the last place team in our recent golf tournament. Love that. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I was I was anti-Will Muschamp before it was cool to be anti-Will Muschamp. God, I'll just never forget. I will just never forget when I called for Muschamp's job and the reaction, the backlash I faced. I mean, phew. Crazy. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Not great.
Zachary, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
I just wanted to pick off of what you said about the Muschamp era. I think the thing about the Muschamp era was there was actual talent there. We had actual talent. We had J.C. Horn. We had Ken Law. We had Brian Edwards. We had Shi Smith. I think the most frustrating thing we had a Kwame. I think that was the most frustrating thing was there was talent on the team, and the fact that we did as poor as we did was the reason why the era is just so everyone wants to forget the era. He had Debo, he had Hayden Hurst. It's just like we had the talent. I'm not saying we could have gone to like a playoff or anything, but it was looking like we were going into the wilderness. And it's like we were going into the wilderness and we needed someone to pull us and be like, stop, turn around, that's not where you belong. And with Muschamp, it just felt like he was just guiding us deeper and deeper towards the wilderness.
Right. Well, especially when you look at, the way that the talent translated in the NFL. I mean, you look at what Debo's doing. You look at, Hayden Hurst. You look at Shi Smith. You look at Brian Edwards. You look at Rico Dowdle. You look at, it's just when you see what all that talent's doing at the next level, it's really hard to feel like, man, that staff just did not get anywhere near the most out of what you had on campus. I mean, it's just not even remotely close. So.
Yeah. And someone posted up a picture, this was a while back, of Shi Smith, Debo, and Brian Edwards. And everyone was just like, if only Muschamp didn't fuck up the offense, we could have been.
Yeah. I mean, dude, trust me, it's crazy. Had all those players and you're going to make me go find the picture. All those players on one offense and couldn't get it done. Couldn't have even a competent offense.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. It's like when you have when you have talent, I think it's kind of like at Texas. It's like, except without like the pedigree, like the blue blood of it all. If you have the talent, and it's just, and people see it. People people say stars don't matter, but people like to see the stars. People see the stars by the name, and let's just be honest, we see them no matter how much we say they don't matter. People like to see 4 stars. People like to see the 5 stars. And if that talent isn't making the impact that people think that this person can, sometimes it's not just on the guy, because sometimes it is on the guy. But when all these players aren't panning out, it's on the staff.
Yeah. Yep, you got to put it on the guy that's making millions of dollars to get the most out of them. You know what I mean? Bottom line. I mean, you just have to. Somebody's got to be held accountable. So.
Yeah. But you know what? It's onwards and upwards. We got our first public commit. I'm waiting for the others to come to make themselves known. But I trust Torian Gray in his evaluation. I trust Torian Gray in his evaluation. I know that he knows a stud when he sees it, and I think that's one thing I trust about this staff. Like, even if the guy has 3 to no stars by their name, just their history, Steph and Gray alone and I'm trusting Clayton White and the way his defense worked out. I trust that they can find, studs at their position.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think Torian Gray has earned that benefit of the doubt. Just seeing what they did last year with the DBs, you feel like they did more with less. Seeing what they did with the DBs, I think certainly they've earned that benefit of the doubt. So, yeah, I thought Zabari Sandy was a good pickup, especially you look at his offer list and you look at the schools he chose, South Carolina, the schools that were in contention and the Gamecocks landing him. I think it's impressive. So, yeah, I mean, the first of many. I think things will definitely pick up as you go through the month of June. And, this is kind of a time where guys want to make those decisions before their high school seasons get going. A lot of guys want to go ahead and get that out of the way and, whatever. So, first commitment of 2023, I think over the next couple of weeks, I think you'll see the momentum start to pick up. And, I mean, who can forget last year, right, where June, I think we got like 12 commitments or something like that. So, I wouldn't be surprised, man, with Shane Beamer and his staff as they start getting dudes on campus. It wouldn't shock me at all if he did more of the same this year.
Yeah. All right, Chris. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it, Zachary. Thanks so much for the call, as always, my friend. Great stuff, guys. Want to hear from you. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let's see. Again, a lot to dive into here on this Monday. Let's see. Cody Gaskin says, I believe Kinlaw will never step foot back at Carolina. Yeah, Cody, I don't think so either. Because here's the thing. Sometimes you say things when you're emotional and, you at some point you say, you know what? I was emotional. I shouldn't have said what I said, whatever. I mean, Kinlaw has doubled and tripled down. He ain't sorry at all. You know what I mean? Javon Kinlaw is not sorry at all. So, yeah, Javon Kinlaw is not sorry in the slightest. I don't think Javon Kinlaw is even on Twitter anymore. I don't think Kinlaw is even on his Twitter. Or I don't think Kinlaw is on Twitter anymore. Yeah, I remember last year too. I remember last year we had a hold on. So what's his Twitter, Tyler Gay? Tyler Gay, what is his at? I'm sure he blocked us. Tyler Gay, I need to know the handle. What is the handle? I could probably just Google it. Are you sure he actually exists on Twitter? I don't know, my guy. I'm searching it. I don't think he's on there. I don't think he's on there, my guy. I don't think Javon Kinlaw's got a Twitter. Let's see. But yeah, I remember last summer when they were, they updated the banners in the indoor and they had Javon Kinlaw on a banner, but didn't have Steven Garcia. And we could still talk about that. Like I could still go in about that. Why that's stupid. But we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. Rebecca, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in, Rebecca. What's up? what's going on. Guys, we're going to jump into one final break, but I want to continue to hear from you, more of your questions, comments, calls, and more. On the other side, you're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 15 minutes or so here in the Daily Crow, taking your questions, your comments, your calls here on this Monday, May the 9th, 2022. Would love to hear from you. You can also text the number 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, Rebecca is in the building. DGD says, uh-oh, she's here. And Rebecca responds with, why does it matter to you? Rebecca says, I am not taking your shit today. Said she's not taking it. Yeah, Tyler Gay. I don't think, by the way, that Javon Kinlaw is on Twitter anymore. So, anyways. Cody Gaskin says maybe Beamer could rekindle that relationship with Kinlaw. I mean, maybe. I mean, again, his picture is hanging in the indoor. So you would hope so. Or you would maybe think so. I don't know. Justin Texan says, I went to Tin Roof, Columbia last Saturday. The concert and food was good. I'm so glad Carolina baseball beat A&M yesterday. I have stopped supporting Mark Kingston. I hear you, and I don't totally blame you, Justin. First off, I'm glad you had a good time at Tin Roof. Always a pleasure. Those guys are incredible. I actually played golf on Saturday. It was unexpected. My buddy hit me up. And yeah, just said, hey, you want to go play golf? So we played golf. So had us a good time. But let's see. All right, let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Rebecca.
Rebecca, what's going on? How are you?
Good. Y'all been?
I've been fantastic. Had a great weekend. Got to hang out with my mother on Mother's Day. So, I'd say a successful weekend. How have you been?
Been doing good. I hung out with my mom.
Love that. Yeah. It was a great weekend to do so,
Stayed
obviously,
the
with
night
Mother's Day
with
yesterday.
me last night. Went and put flowers on my grandma Dean's grave.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about it that I did for Mother's Day.
I got you. Yeah, we love Mother's Day. We love our mothers here. So I got to spend time with my mom as well, and yeah, really enjoyed it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got something to say.
Go ahead.
I want to call out somebody.
Mm-hmm.
All right. DGD broadcast. I'm going to call you out.
Calling out DGD.
Why in the hell does it matter that I'm here in the building?
DGD didn't know what he was getting into commenting today, did he? He didn't expect all of this. He didn't know what smoke he was getting into.
Yeah, you don't mess with Rebecca.
No.
I can tell you that right now. Rebecca don't put up with shit.
And you know what's bad, Rebecca? DGD is a Georgia fan. Did you know that? His name stands for damn good dog. He's actually a Georgia fan.
I don't give a damn if he's a Georgia fan or not.
I think DGD's actually a fan of yours.
And I'm going to put it this way. If you don't like it that I'm on this radio station, on this live, y'all can kiss my ass.
Tell them to pucker up, get in line.
Right. Because I don't give two shits what your opinion is. If you don't like it, then I get on this telephone and put my 2 cents in. Y'all can kiss my ass for all I care.
Tell them. I mean, tell them. DGD, anybody, they can get it. They can get the smoke. They can get all the smoke.
I'm the queen of this radio station. We got Chris is the top king. We got king is for Robbie Davis, and I'm the queen. And that's how it goes.
Okay. Top king, yours truly, Robbie Davis the king, Rebecca the queen. All right. We've identified our roles here.
Right. So, anyway. Go ahead, DGD. I don't give a damn.
I
anyway,
wish we could do somehow, some way, because I know everybody lives in different places. I wish somehow, some way we could do like a Daily Crow live in person type deal where everybody's in the same spot. Then y'all could just hash this out in person.
Anyway, my favorite second cousin down in Aiken, South Carolina, is her birthday is today.
Whose birthday you said?
My favorite second cousin down in Aiken is her birthday today. She turned 59.
You said she's your second favorite cousin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's your first favorite?
I don't have no first favorites.
So how do you have a second favorite but no favorite?
Because she is related. She's my mom's first cousin.
Okay. So she's your second cousin.
Right.
Okay.
I wanted to say happy birthday to her.
Happy
Because
birthday
I
to
love
second
her.
favorite cousin.
My cousin Felicia. I love her so much.
Happy birthday,
For
Felicia.
her and my great aunt, I wouldn't be here today. They helped me out through my teenage years. When I was growing up in school after my step-grandmother passed away. So.
Very good.
I wanted to say that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Just let DGD know that you're watching. Robbie Davis, by the way, texts in, says, I'm cracking up over this. Haha, Rebecca is cracking me up. So you got Robbie Davis laughing. So just good to know. You got Robbie Davis laughing.
Hi, Robbie Davis, if you can hear me.
Oh, he's tuned in. He can definitely hear you. He's tuned in.
But don't forget, you're the king.
Robbie's the king.
We got top king is Chris, and then you're the king, and I'm the queen. And that's how it goes. DGD just said that he come in peace. You really come in peace with me? I wouldn't give you hell if it wasn't for you starting shit.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. King Robbie. King Robbie. King Robbie, Queen Rebecca.
You got to make sure that you're top king, Chris. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should know that. Then it goes to Robbie is king, and then I'm the queen.
Very good.
He did actually come in peace.
Yeah, DGD's good people. He's good people. He might be a dog, but he's good people. So don't take it. Don't go too hard on him. Don't go too hard on him. Rebecca, we're going to get out of here. We're about to hit 2 o'clock, but it's always a pleasure. I always look forward to your calls, Rebecca, truly. It's always entertaining.
I love calling in on
you're
days
welcome.
like this.
You're welcome to do so anytime. Welcome to do so anytime.
Right, but anyway, I wanted to say hello to everybody. Everybody probably was wanting to know how I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't called in the last few days.
Yeah, we're glad you're doing well. We're glad you're doing well. Sincerely.
I'm doing good. Been doing DoorDash and stuff like that.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
But anyway, I hope everybody down in South Carolina has a good day.
For sure.
I wish I could be there.
We hope you in Tennessee, East Tennessee, have a fantastic day as well.
Right. I know. I wish I was down there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day,
I would
too.
love to be down there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, too.
But anyway, I want to get off of here.
All right, Rebecca, we'll talk soon. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right.
No.
Bye-bye. Great stuff. Great stuff. What is above is there anything above a king? If Rebecca's the queen and Robbie's the king, I don't know if top king is quite how hierarchical structure work. I don't know. Either way. Guys, what a way to close the show. Rebecca, it's always a pleasure to hear from her. Check out the podcast. Dropped this morning, episode 646, full breakdown on what happened over the weekend. Also, we talk the latest commitment for Shane Beamer, the first public commitment of 2023, Zabari Sandy, the defensive back. Of course, podcast rocking today, Wednesday, Friday, our normal schedule. TDC rolling all week long, noon to 2 on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Road to Glory content also this week. We'll have that going. We're live at Tin Roof. Baseball plays tomorrow night and this weekend, all at home. So the content is bleeding out the eyeballs. And looking forward to a fantastic week. Guys, again, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all so much for your continued love of sports. Stay tuned to everything. And like I said, it's a great week to have a week. Let's do the damn thing. Guys, appreciate y'all. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your Monday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.